Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Helmet to Helmet podcast. I am Zach or BeZRK, joined with my co-host here, Luke. Just to quickly here before we get started into this podcast about ourselves, I'm Zach. I recently moved to Cincinnati from Omaha, Nebraska. As you can tell by what I'm wearing, I'm a huge Iowa State fan, big Denver Broncos fan, and Indiana Pacers fan as well.
I'm Luke. I'm originally born and raised in the Northeast Ohio. I've been living down here for about 8 years, but born and bred Browns fan, Buckeyes fan. One of those teams is a lot better than the other.
Yeah, we'll get into the Browns game for sure here later. But quickly, we want to start here into the big college football slate this weekend. And I would just want to start as first before we get to Saturday. Got to talk about the games from Friday night. Absolutely insane games. 2 overtime games plus a huge comeback win in a game that I did not see coming. We had, obviously, Arizona State versus TCU, the comeback game that I was talking about there. Looked like Arizona State was out of it. Offense was not running the ball well. Was not throwing the ball well in the first half. And it looks like TCU was going to run away with the game. But you could not count out the Sun Devils in the fourth quarter. 10 points unanswered there. And they get the big win there over TCU. Again, going over another Friday night game. Not the biggest game of the night that some people thought, but Houston, Oregon State delivered in the late night. If you were up late watching games, maybe placing a few late bets to recover from the early games, you were watching that Houston game, watching that big comeback. Oregon State, sorry to say it, the FCS is calling 0-5 to start the year, not great for the Beavers.
Yeah, they're still better than UCLA, so it's all right.
Yeah, the Pac-12 teams are either really good or really bad now.
Big FCS Big Sky didn't even want UCLA.
No, the Big Sky, the Big Sky did not. They wanted nothing to do with them. Yeah. And but obviously the biggest game of the night, Virginia versus Florida State. A field storming game for the Cavaliers as they get their program key win of the year versus Florida State. Did you see
Florida State? I didn't see the game, but I saw the aftermath.
Did you see the field storming?
I didn't see this.
I hope that Florida State receiver is alive.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
so
like I saw a lot of things over the weekend about field storming. Some people hate it, some people like it. I'm pro field storming.
Oh, yeah.
Guess I just had never seen a field storming at Virginia's stadium before, and I didn't realize that they were literally 5 feet away from the end zone. And
it's like how their stadium
luckily it wasn't like a controversial play, because I don't know what happens then, because the ball hit the ground and the students were on the field within half a second of that happening. It was a crazy game for sure.
That's just an unexpected loss for Florida State, because it was a week 1 they beat Alabama, and then they were back. They beat at the time 8th ranked Alabama, and then they had 2 easy games versus East Texas A&M and Kent State. But we thought Florida State was back. Now they have it at home, but they got to play number 3 Miami next week.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for Florida State for sure. Playing at home definitely a lot better than playing a Friday night game. But that one will be a good one for sure. Definitely the highlight game of the upcoming week, but we'll get into that a little more later. Some early slate games Saturday. Obviously, Ohio State, big win for the Buckeyes there. What did you think?
Well, I also didn't get to watch this one. I heard people say Ohio State was on upset alert, which I feel like gets said a lot for some reason. They said that a couple weeks ago as well versus it wouldn't really be an upset against Texas, but it was when we played Bobcats. I was in Columbus for that game. It was like 16-9 at halftime. People were like, "Oh, the Buckeyes are gonna lose," and then we won like 37-9.
Yeah.
But it's across the country, so that jet lag is gonna set in. And Washington, they're not ranked, but they're a good team. They're not slouches, but ended up winning. Bo Jackson is emerging as a great running back for Ohio State.
Yeah, the one thing I gathered from the game, I didn't watch much of it. I had other games on at the time, but I really think that Ohio State's defense is the best in the country, up there with kind of Miami, bits and pieces from them. Florida actually, I think, has a really good D-line. LSU for sure. But these Buckeyes, that defense is insane. Washington and Texas, basically, both big teams that they've played so far, have done nothing offensively.
Yeah. Washington was averaging like 50-something points per game.
Yeah.
Too, so
Yeah, they just got shut down. It wasn't
6 points. Yeah.
the game never really felt. I don't really know why people were calling it a potential upset. I never thought that it was out of control for Ohio State. It kind of just seems like Ryan Day knows that he can win games scoring 20 points, so he kind of hasn't had to open up the playbook a bit. I bet it'll happen later in the year. As we get into the Big Ten season, they'll probably have closer games where they have to open it up. But right now, no real need, I thought, to open up the playbook. Another game from the weekend, Illinois USC, and I could not have been more wrong on this game. I really thought that USC was going to come in and get a big win against Illinois after they got pounced on by Indiana, and I got to give a lot of credit to Luke Altmaier and Brett Bielema and this team. They pulled it together, and I really think that these West Coast teams, other than Oregon, just cannot travel into these Big Ten games. Every single game, it seems like they struggle. None of these teams win their road games. I think I saw somewhere that Lincoln Riley was complaining. They had the late game last Saturday against Michigan State. They were playing in California, and then they had to travel for this game at noon. Not sure why they were crying about it. You joined the conference. This is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
It's almost like there was this conference that was on the West Coast with a lot of the good teams from the West Coast where they could play each other and not have to travel far.
Wasn't good enough, so.
But I guess it wasn't good enough, like you said. But other games from the weekend of note, Alabama, Georgia, another game that I don't think a lot of people saw coming. Kind of seems like the story of the weekend for a lot of these ranked versus ranked games is I think, the higher ranked team lost in all of them.
In Georgia, too. So that's just inexcusable. I mean, Alabama, this is not the Nick Saban Alabama team. This Alabama team's not as good as they have been, but was it Kirby Smart's record? I'll have to look it up, but he does not have a good record versus Alabama.
They don't play. They lost Alabama last year.
Yeah.
In Tuscaloosa, but Kirby Smart has a big Bama problem, just like I think Tennessee has a big Kirby Smart problem. But these SEC games this year, these teams are not. I don't think there's a team that I think is significantly better than the others. Maybe Ole Miss and Texas A&M are pretty good, but nothing too crazy, I think.
Kirby Smart has a record of 1-7 in his career against
1-7?
Yeah, 1-7. I think the only time they beat them was in
the
SEC
football,
the SEC championship.
to make the playoff. Was that the year that Bama was that the year that Bama didn't make it, and then they played Washington, and Nick Saban was outraged about it? I'm not sure. A lot of the years blend together. It was obviously like the year Florida State got left out when they went undefeated.
Yeah.
That was like the last year.
1-7, not any good.
Yeah, and your semi-rival Penn State at big game against Oregon, awful showing for them. James Franklin in these games.
I just want to say I hope James Franklin is Penn State head coach for life. Because he is 4-21 versus top 10 opponents now. And I think he has one win against Ohio State, and it was like 2016.
Yeah, it's so sad to see. I saw some Penn State fans saying online, it's not even that they're bad, because you can't be like, oh, their teams are bad with James Franklin. It's just that they're not great. You know, they can't get over the line. Last year against Ohio State, everyone kind of thought they were going to win, then they lose, and I don't know what you do if you're a Penn State fan, if you're a player, a coach, because do you stick with James Franklin, go down this path?
I don't know. I don't even know what the deal is, because they beat up on everybody else, but it's just the best teams they just can't beat. Like they're winning by 50 over their other games this year. Last year they beat Boise State. They held Ashton Genty, and their offensive line destroyed them. It was until they played a real opponent that they just shut down.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Penn State goes from here. trying to look at their schedule now. I know they play UCLA this week on the road, so it's a free win there. Then they've got Northwestern, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana. I don't see a world where they win in Columbus, and as of right now, I don't see a world where they beat Indiana. So you're looking at 9, and
Indiana beat Illinois like that. Yeah, they might be a little more real than they were last year. Last year they were big frauds, but
they definitely will beat Nebraska. Nebraska, another team that struggles in big games. I would know. I'm from there.
They're so close to beating Michigan.
They were not close to beating Michigan.
Well,
I'm sorry. The scoreboard does not reflect how awful Nebraska played that game. It's sad when a team can run. I think it was like a 9-minute drive that Michigan went on that week, and they just ran the ball repeatedly.
Yeah,
they got like 5 yards a carry. Nebraska, my friends and I from back home talk about this. They've got no dog in them. They don't recruit these kids from Nebraska who grew up willing to die for that team. They grow up and then they're like, okay, well, Nebraska doesn't want me. I'm going to leave. Then they get these kids from Florida and all over the country who don't like the school like these kids from Nebraska did back in the day when they were winning championships. It's a culture thing. It's not a coaching thing at Nebraska. I'm sorry, Matt Rule, but Minnie Mahomes is maybe not the guy. And if there was not a lucky Hail Mary to end the first half, that game was not close. But anyway, back to games that might have teams that make the playoff. Ole Miss, LSU, great game there.
A lot of controversy
going into the game.
Lane Kiffin's daughter hanging out with
dating.
LSU line,
Hard launch. Yeah, that's well. Yeah, and then he responded to a tweet about it and said, "Take the over, the under hit. Lane, what are you doing to me? Why'd you do that? Why?" But really, Ole Miss kind of lucked into this year almost with Chambliss starting at quarterback now. Started last week, was his first start, I believe, and now their original quarterback, whose name is escaping me right now, he lost his job. There's no chance that he starts another game for this team. Kind of sucks. Oh, Austin Simmons, that's his name. Yeah, and so they got this kid. Their current quarterback went to Ferris State, I believe, and they found him basically out of nowhere, and now he's just an absolute dog.
Some controversy. I saw that the linebacker that Lane Kiffin's daughter was dating, I don't remember his name right now, but
Witt
he was throwing up on the field in like the first quarter, so it's not like he played a whole game.
He was nervous.
Either that, or I heard that maybe Lane Kiffin's daughter had him out drinking and he was super hungover for the game and not able to play. That's probably a stretch, but it'd be funny.
Well, I would imagine that Lane Kiffin's daughter, I think her name's Landry. I think Landry probably said some things to him. Hey, it's one loss. People won't even blame you because it's Brian Kelly. You can throw. Maybe if Chambliss throws you a ball, maybe don't catch it. Just swat it down. It's the same thing as a pick, basically. So definitely want to get an ESPN 30 for 30 on that and find out more about that game because it's screaming controversy to me, and I'm all for it.
LSU remains at number 4, though, dropping only from number 3. So.
The AP, I'm so done with the AP poll. It's disgusting. Iowa State absolutely smacks Arizona, and they say, okay, cool, stay where you are. And then they don't move Indiana up enough. Some teams they over-adjust to. If you're in the SEC or the Big Ten, you get ranked higher. All these different things. I've had enough of it.
BYU is 25. I don't understand.
They're good.
I haven't watched any of their games, but I personally, as long as Ohio State's at number 1, they can keep the AP points.
I'm back and forth on whether it should be Ohio State or Oregon because you kind of have to say Oregon's schedule maybe has been better.
Yeah.
They have a top 5 win. Because I don't think that Texas win has aged the best. I guess Texas hasn't played an SEC team yet. They play Florida this weekend, so we'll see what we think about them after this week. But
Arch Manning having like 10 straight incompletions versus UTEP.
Yeah. And then he did the thing against Sam Houston State where he stepped over the dude.
State player.
I mean, flexing on Sam Houston State is like
That's not
beating a.
yeah.
I'm not even going to go where I was going to go. I'm not going there. Lastly, to follow up the college football slate, Notre Dame, Arkansas, I wanted to talk about real quickly. That was on the blog. If you followed the blog bets, was one of the only two winners, unfortunately. But Arkansas, I think they just got, well, they did. Sam Pittman got fired. And so Notre Dame, at least they did that this season, if nothing else. I kind of knew that this game was going to happen. I was so confused why they were not bigger favorites. They're not a bad team by any means. They played two good teams and lost to them.
Yeah, they get good losses.
I think Texas A&M's a really good team. They had a good game against Auburn. Their defense looks a lot better, which was the one thing that looked bad in the early of the season. Now their offense did not look great that game. Marcel Reed had an interception in that game. No touchdown passes. Yep. And then Tennessee. Did you see any of that? I was heartbroken for Mississippi State fans who finally this year have a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence rolling into SEC play after beating Arizona State this year. And they got into overtime, and then they lost. But a lot of the fans I see doesn't seem like they're overreacting to it too much because they usually don't win those games. Yeah. But it's still kind of sad, I guess. But
I think Tennessee would be top 10 if they beat, and they barely lost to Georgia in overtime. Joey Aguilar is the guy.
He's good, but I'm kind of struggling with that. I think he is really good, but Nico looked really good last year for Tennessee, and he's not good now. So I don't know if I'm sold on Aguilar yet. I think he's
game against Georgia the best.
Yeah, I actually thought he played pretty well. I thought that Georgia loss kind of been, I mean, a kicker misses a field goal, kind of the ruiner. I think he threw one, I believe, but still, basically the same thing.
I mean, it's Georgia's fifth in the country, so
yeah,
they're good.
Yeah, they definitely are. And well, they lost to Bama. Did they stay at? Did they stay at 5?
Still has them at 5, which is
wow.
odd.
I guess I didn't really. Oh, the AP moved him to 12.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it.
Yes. Yeah, the AP moved him down to 12. LSU.
Yeah, this says 3 Penn State. They're 7 now.
Yep. LSU down to 13. Florida State down to 18.
Okay.
Iowa State still at
Okay,
14.
Because I got the last week's scores up, so it has their AP poll ranking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it tells you the rank of what they were when they played,
okay.
Which actually nice. Otherwise it gets confusing.
Loss,
yeah. All right. Let's move on. Sunday, big Sunday for NFL football with some games that made absolutely zero sense to me. Should we start in Dublin in the old Irish?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers Vikings.
Quarterback getting jumped.
Skylar Thompson was jumped and robbed. That's not funny. There was a graphic that came out that was funny about it. He was jumped and robbed. We hope that you are okay, Skylar.
Yeah, for sure. We hope he's okay.
I have a friend who knows Skylar Thompson pretty well. Not pretty well, but I think has met him before because he went to K-State. Anyways,
That's cool.
The Steelers, they threw 0 passes that went longer than 20 yards. I thought was a little crazy that they still won that game. But this Vikings team is in trouble when they're not gifted turnovers.
Yeah, when Isaiah Rodgers doesn't carry the team on his back. Because the Steelers were up big, too. The Vikings kind of had a mini comeback.
Yeah, 21-6 at the end of the third.
Yeah,
I do not know how much longer they keep JJ out. I don't think his ankle is really that hurt. I think they kind of benched him almost a little bit. Because
I don't think J.J. McCarthy. I mean, obviously, a lot of quarterbacks are probably better than Carson Wentz in 2025, but I don't think J.J. McCarthy is going to get them over the hump, so to speak. I don't think he's going to be better as good as Sam Darnold was for them last year.
Does any of that have to do with the fact that he went to Michigan?
Maybe a little bit, but I'm just from the game. He's had one in the NFL, even if you don't look at it biasly. He's only had one good quarter, and it was the fourth quarter against the Bears to win.
He's lost more games in his 2 NFL starts than he did to Ohio State every time he played them. That was all I had to say about that. Love you, Connor. Commanders Falcons. No Jaden Daniels. I really thought Marcus Mariota was going to get a revenge game. He actually might be the best quarterback in the NFL. Maybe not maybe. Michael Penix finally played a good game of football. And Kyle Pitts had a touchdown.
Oh, wow. Extremely rare.
Pick him up in fantasy. It's his year. If
It is.
you're looking to trade for him, do that. I'm not big into fantasy, but
Trade
that's all I know
Bijan.
about fantasy. Yeah, trade Bijan,
Jahmyr
get
Gibbs.
get Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is going to win your league. He's an X factor. Should we get into your brownies?
Okay, so watching this game, so the final score is kind of a lie. It was at the start. It was either the very start of the fourth quarter or very late in the third. It was 20-10 Lions, which holding this Lions offense that scored in Detroit that scored 50 points on the Bears. It is impressive still, even if we were down by double digits, which is not hard to do with the Browns' offense being as bad as it is. But they did extremely well, and then the game ended when Khalif Raymond took that punt return to the house. It didn't even look like the Browns tried on the punt coverage, and after that, they were done. And then they scored another touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown, which helped me in fantasy, just a stat pad. So the game essentially ended, it was 27-10. Flacco was cooked.
Should they bench him?
Probably not until, as we've talked about this, but for the viewers, the first 6 games of the Browns' schedule is probably their hardest all year. It was healthy Cincinnati with Burrow, then Baltimore in Baltimore. I think we had Cincinnati at home, but it doesn't matter. Our kicker whiffed 4 points, and we lost by 1. And we Baltimore in Baltimore.
Green
Packers, Bay. Yeah, Packers big upset. We had them at home. That was fun. And then Detroit, and we have Minnesota in London next week, and then the Steelers, I believe, in Pittsburgh. So throwing a rookie quarterback into those 6 games is not a good thing to do.
But do you think you can win those games with Flacco?
No. I starting Flacco at this point, with how bad our O-line is, our O-line's also banged up and just getting old, isn't pretty much tanking, but I don't want to throw Dylan Gabriel in there and have him get hurt or something, because TJ Watt's a dirty player, and he might, allegedly, and he might, and they just might get hurt. I would probably wait till week 7. We got Dolphins, Patriots, Jets in a 3-week stretch. That's probably when I start the rookie. Probably going to be Dylan Gabriel.
I can't stand to see Joe Flacco get hit like this. It's
sad. He's such a nice guy.
Something about Flacco, man. There's just something about him. Something
He's a good
about
guy,
him.
and he was good in 2023 when we went 11-6 and made the playoffs. That was fun, but it's just
It's time. Father time hits you when you're 40 years old. Might be time to be done. Moving on. We'll save you the despair of being a Browns fan. Bills Saints. Weird game as well. 12-point win for the Bills, beating the Saints, who now have the 0-10 starting quarterback, Spencer Rattler. So congratulations to Spencer. Loved everything that you did, especially at South Carolina. Thought you were really good there. But the Bills, that game was actually a lot closer, too.
It's
than
21-19 or something.
Yeah,
and the Bills
yeah.
pulled away at the very end.
Exactly, and kind of a weird game. The Bills kind of play to whoever they're playing against. They play up to the good teams. They play down to the bad teams, and
It's odd considering the Saints got blown out by the Seahawks just last week, so I thought the Bills were going to do it 2 times over.
yeah, I was shocked that game was only a 12-point game at the final score. I didn't watch a whole lot of it because I thought it was going to be such a blowout. I was paying more attention to the Browns game, which was
Also,
well, yeah, ended up being a blowout, but
ended up,
being a blowout, but wasn't that way for most of the game. But
yeah.
the big blowout of the weekend, Patriots-Panthers. Oh my gosh, the Panthers suck.
1 week after they blew out the Falcons inexplicably, they then go on to lose by 29 points to Patriots. Patriots, Drake May looks good. Travion Henderson actually got the ball, and look what happens. You score 40 points.
No fumbles.
Yeah.
They don't have that problem anymore. No Ramondre, no problem.
Yeah, Panthers, not good. They're not going to go 0-17 thanks to the Falcons, but they're not good.
I was a believer too. I wanted to believe in Bryce so badly, but then I saw that one clip. Did you see the clip? It was not this recent weekend, but the weekend before, or maybe against the Jags, and it was a TV timeout, and there was a video that came out of him playing like the Megatron game. It was like the three hats, and it was like the find the football. And there's a video of him standing in the field like doing it. The rest of his teammates are in a huddle, and he's just standing over the side. And I was like, yeah, it might be over for Bryce, but
he still doesn't have much help. Chuba Hubbard's good. Tedero McMillan looks good. Other than that, he's not gotten a lot of help, but he also doesn't look great, especially for a first overall pick that they traded a whole lot of stuff to the multiple firsts and DJ Moore to the Bears for. It's not looking great.
Yeah, it definitely does not look good for them for sure. But the one team it does look good for, New York Giants, Jackson Dart's first start, that rhymed. He gets a win against the Chargers. I did not see this coming at all. I actually kind of thought this kind of actually goes against your point with the Browns, where maybe you do throw in a rookie quarterback against the best team because maybe they don't game plan for him correctly. There's not a lot of film on Shador or Dylan Gabriel that's going to matter at least. And if you're a believer in some theories, then you would think that Shador didn't get blocked for correctly.
Yeah, and Giants O-line is not any good. Malik Neighbors is good, but he got hurt in that game. And then they got Scattaboo and Tyrone Tracy was also hurt, but they're a pretty good running duo.
They still have Slayton.
The Browns have a good running duo too. Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson are both looking good.
Slayton's not a horrible wide receiver, but other than that, I mean, Wandale Robinson's a good receiver, running back, kind of all-tool player, former Nebraska Husker, then transferred to Kentucky Wildcats. Fun fact. Not a whole lot else in that game. The only thing I guess I can say is I'm sad that Jackson Dart might be good at football. I really wanted him to be bad. I just want the Jameis Winston experience 24/7. There needs to be a team. Roger Goodell should say, all right, whatever team is the worst in the league by week 10, mandatory gets Jameis on their team, and you have to start him.
The Saints got Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shaw.
Let him go back home. Let him get back home. He loves Louisiana. Yeah. Let him come home to Louisiana, and I'm telling you, that team, even if they don't improve their record, their ratings will go up.
Yeah.
People want to watch the Jameis show. And we need more clips because you can't interview a player that doesn't play. So they don't interview him post-game, and so we get no fun clips. The only ones that we get are during the week, and I need more of them. Or I was going to say I need Jameis to retire so that he can do content, but I don't want that either because then I don't get like the...
He's also fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't get like the two interceptions, 2 touchdowns, all of them 60-yard plus.
Yeah, like 500 passing yards.
Yeah, that's what... We need that in the league.
So maybe Stefanski can take some notes and because our rookie quarterback went in there and will beat a really good Chargers team this year.
I thought the Chargers were the best team in the league going into that game.
Their only hiccup is now they're down both of their All-Pro tackles. Joe Alt and Carter on the field in that game.
But Hampton looked really good that game. That's really good for them. And somehow I still can't believe they revived Quentin Johnston's career.
I had to pick him up in fantasy football.
He looked like a drop merchant throughout most of his career early. Everyone thought that he just could not catch passes.
That's kind of why they took Ladd McConkey a couple years ago in the draft.
And then they got Keenan Allen back this year, who's playing well, but he's banged up, I think, right now. I don't think he played in that game.
Yeah.
Moving on. Eagles, Buccaneers. I thought the Bucs were going to do it again. Another fourth quarter late comeback win. Insane. If you look at the box score of this game, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. The Eagles offense in the second half did not get a single passing yard. Not a single yard. I think they were the only team since I think the Panthers did it once I saw that had 0 passing yards in the second half and still won the game, which insane. Not even it makes no sense to me.
Jalen Hurts QBR of 108.5 in that game, 15 for 24 for only 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, but 130 passing yards.
I had this written down on my notes. The Eagles just confused me because last week it was they couldn't throw the ball in the first half against the Rams. All they were doing was running, and then they threw the ball in the second half, and it looked good. And then this week they just flipped it. They just couldn't move the ball at all in the second half. And Saquon did not have a great game either.
19 attempts, 43 yards.
Yeah, I think it's bad if Jalen Hurts is going to be your leading rusher. Somehow they get the win. The Buccaneers were really injured, though. A lot of the receivers. Mike Evans didn't play, so that kind of tells you the story about
I
that.
was thinking the Buccaneers have the best record versus Jalen Hurts himself because they've been the push stoppers because of Vita Vea.
Yeah.
Very large human
Yep.
being.
Yeah. The Eagles fans are terrified of the Bucs.
Yeah.
That's their.
Shout out to A.J. Brown, who had his longest catch was 9 yards, and he finished with 7 receiving yards.
Did you see that he tweeted after the game?
I didn't see what
Oh, anytime that he doesn't get enough targets, he tweets.
Yeah, he just starts going off.
Yep, I saw one, or maybe he deleted it.
For that. Also, Braden Mann, with 1 rushing attempt for negative 34 yards. That's solid.
I'm trying to find this A.J. Brown tweet. It was a Bible quote. It was great.
Really?
Yes, here's what it said. If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way.
As he tweets and makes a scene.
I mean, yeah, it's whatever, I guess, with A.J. Brown.
He's done that his entire career.
Yeah, I don't think that really means anything. If it would have been like the first time he did it, sure, you can overreact. But I mean, it's like the 5th or 6th time he's done that.
Wide receiver. I mean, wide receiver is one of the few positions that they can have a good game and not help their team because they could be getting open every single play, but if they don't get the ball, they don't do anything. So
yeah, it's definitely like the number 1 position for like the worst body language that you see in the NFL.
Divas,
yeah, definitely. And like when they're mic'd up and the NFL releases those. I remember early in Justin Jefferson's career, he had a lot of moments like that with Kirk where he was just getting angry. Yeah. The Bears won.
Blocked field goal to win.
The NFL might have a blocked field goal problem this year.
Yeah, like 4 last week, and then
the Eagles. I think the Eagles blocked 2.
Yeah.
Like in their game against the Bucs. Well, one was a punt.
Yeah, punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was still crazy though. I've never seen this many blocked field goals.
And it's like week 4.
Yeah, it's week 4. There was like 3 last week, all at the same time basically, and now there's like 3 or 4 in this one. Crazy.
Including the Browns did something right.
I didn't really watch that game though. I did see that Caleb looked like he played good. Genty had a good game.
Oh, Genty hat trick, yeah.
Yeah, the hat.
Like 150 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
I think it was total yards.
Total yards.
Receiving.
Okay.
I think he had 2 of his touchdowns were receiving.
Okay. I did watch the Chiefs game though, and Lamar Jackson, he just may never beat Patrick Mahomes. And it might be like the biggest what if story in sports is, what if he didn't have to play in the AFC or anything like that? Because he may never make a Super Bowl, and it may just be because of Patrick Mahomes his whole career.
In his career, I think Lamar only has 3 losses to the NFC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He never loses to the NFC. Yeah, he never loses to them. But I don't know what his record is against Patrick Mahomes.
It's like 1-5
but it can't be good.
No, Derrick Henry's not particularly helping. I don't think he fumbled, but he had 3 fumbles in 3 weeks prior. He's not looking as good. Watching the Ravens, their O-line doesn't look good, especially their tackles. I don't know if they're dealing with injuries and backups, but it doesn't look good. They're getting eaten alive. Like it was against Detroit, Lamar got sacked 7 times. On Lamar Jackson, the most mobile quarterback in the league.
1-6.
1-6 now after that's not
0-1 in the playoffs. That's like most of his career losses basically.
Yeah. He has an insane.
And then they always lose like 2 games in division every year. But basically besides
I wonder
that.
how this is one of the things that I don't like is people say, oh, the only people that can beat the Ravens is themselves. Well, apparently they're pretty good at it.
They're their own best enemy.
Yeah, so like, how many losses do they have to get before it's not just themselves beating them?
Their defense is so injured. I saw something. Most of their secondary was out, and they need a lot of help.
Matt Buki, their best defensive lineman.
He got hurt too.
He's on IR after last week's game.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they need to get healthy in a bad way. Their defense has given up tons and tons of points to everybody. Even that Browns game, they didn't have their greatest game. The scoreboard made it look bad, but
I think it was after it was Roquan Smith had a scoop and scored a touchdown, and the Browns kind of gave up. They gave up a touchdown pass, Dylan Gabriel to Harold Fannin for both of their first career touchdowns, respectively.
Should we talk about the Titans game?
I don't even know.
Titans lost 26-0.
Keeping it brutally honest in the post game was probably the best part of this game.
Yeah, can't repeat what he said word for word, but he did not have the greatest comments about the Titans. But at least he was honest.
He's keeping it real with his team, though.
Yeah. Who gets a win first, Spencer Rattler or Cam Ward?
I honestly got to go with Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward looks very good. The Titans just are not helping him in the slightest. Tony Pollard's been okay. Calvin Ridley's been okay. That's kind of it. I think they got Jeffrey Simmons still. He's good, but they got nothing going on.
And the last game, I guess 2 games left. The Jaguars 49ers and
return lost. Colts and Rams as well.
Yeah, Colts and Rams as well, but both of those games waited till last for those for one reason. Obviously, the Rams beating the Colts, Jags beating the Niners. Who is the worst 3-1 team out of the Jags, 49ers, Seahawks, and Steelers? I left out Lions, Bucks, Rams, Chargers, Colts.
Rams. Yeah, those are obviously all good teams. You got the couple 4-0 teams are also good. Philly, Buffalo are good.
Yeah, so I would personally say I think the Jags are the worst 3-1 team. I think if the 49ers are healthy, which they never are, then they're better. I have a little more faith in Sam Darnold, I guess, than... Do I have more faith in Sam Darnold than Trevor Lawrence? No. Well...
I think Trevor Lawrence has a higher ceiling, but Sam Darnold is producing more right now.
Yeah. And the Steelers I trust just because they have the same record every year.
They're 10-7.
You know, they're not 9-8, 10-7, last seed in the playoffs, lose first round.
I think they started 4-2 last year as well.
Yeah, I mean they.
10-7.
At least Rodgers isn't making mistakes.
Yeah.
Or at least isn't making bad mistakes. So they have that going for them, but
they have a negative 2-point differential though. 98 points against, 96 points for.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Because they kept it close with the Jets week 1. They won by 3. I think Aaron Rodgers looks good. DK Metcalf had a good game in Ireland versus the Vikings. I think where the Steelers benefit the most is the rest of the AFC North falling apart. Joe Burrow out. Whatever's going on in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson just got hurt. He missed the very end of that game, and the Cleveland Browns are doing their thing.
Yeah.
Whatever, maybe.
Yeah, the AFC North is going from a usually very, very strong division to maybe the worst other than NFC South maybe.
I want to see what happens to the Colts now because Daniel Jones had 2 interceptions and he didn't look as good as he has been. So
Stafford played great.
Stafford was good.
He was awesome.
I think the Colts can obviously bounce back, but I wonder if this game is
they're also benefiting from their division's not good. So I can't see them. I guess I could see a world where the Jags and the Texans maybe push a little. Texans don't look good at all right now, though, even though they beat the Titans, shut them out. But they don't look on track against good teams. I can't see them winning. I don't trust the Jags enough, so I still think it's open for the Colts to get that playoff.
Daniel Jones' stat line doesn't look as bad as I thought. 24 for 33, 262 yards, 1 touchdown. The big bad stuff is 2 picks. Kind of cost him 88 QBR. I mean, that's better than I thought it was. I watched Red Zone, so it was kind of just panning in and out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score for the Titans-Texans. Cam Ward, they need to get some offensive linemen. They need offensive linemen so badly.
They got this rookie dude, Alec Manor. He's been looking. I mean, he only had 2 catches for 44 yards, but I've heard that he's been. I mean, it's not hard to really stand out in the Titans offense. But.
Well, it's just crazy to me that they drafted one O-lineman out of Sacramento State. They didn't draft any other linemen. They got all these skill position guys, but it doesn't matter if Cam doesn't have more than 5 seconds to get the ball out every time. It means
Cam
almost
Ward's
nothing.
Stat line does not look good, but I've watched him.
His highlights look insane.
Yeah, in prior games, if you watch him, it's kind of like it reminds me of Drake May last year on the Patriots. If you watch him, he looks good.
Passes the eye test.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, did you tune into the Sunday Night Football, Cowboys-Packers? Such an anticlimactic ending. They should not be. I hate ties. Especially some ties are okay where it's a boring game. That was such a fun game.
Trash game.
Yeah, I mean, especially that fourth quarter was electric. Back and forth. Cowboys scored with way too much time there at the end. 3 timeouts, 45 seconds or so. Packers get the ball, go down, game-tying field goal. And, yeah, but this Packers defense is shaky.
They've looked good in prior weeks. This week, not so much. Micah Parsons looks like he's playing hurt.
Their run yeah, he's definitely just playing hurt. And I guarantee if that game is not against the Cowboys, he doesn't play that game. I don't think so, not at all.
They had to have the narratives in there.
Yeah, because then if they win, then it's a huge thing for him. And
he did get a sack late in the game. It was for 0 yards. Dak Prescott was.
He did have that huge. He had that huge play where Dak was scrambling and he chased him from behind. Yeah, that was when you were talking about.
Sack for 0 yards.
Yeah, basically just a tackle, like just a huge. Dak definitely would have gotten.
It was good, yeah, because Dak was about to score.
Yes, so it definitely helped him in the moment. But that's such a. With all, like, that was so many storylines of the last month have been about Jerry and Micah Parsons, and for it to end in a tie is so dumb. I also saw something, the Packers, since, like, one of their Super Bowls, I don't know if it was the first one with Rodgers, they've not lost. The Super Bowl that they won where they played in Jerry World, they haven't lost in that stadium since then.
Wow. I think that was 2011, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so they have a big win streak there in Dallas, and I guess a tie keeps a win streak going.
I'm in 3 leagues. Across them, I have Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, the Packers kicker, even helped me out greatly.
My fantasy team is so cooked. 0-4. I had Burrow. He's out. Jamar Chase has no quarterback to throw it to him. We're filming this Monday morning, so Broncos, Bengals tonight, Jets, Dolphins tonight as well. I'm a Broncos fan, but I'm not even looking forward to this game. It's kind of a sad night when the best quarterback is Bo Nix, and then the other game it's Tua and Justin Fields. 0-3, 0-3. Not a good Monday Night Football slate.
I've only seen those AI edits of when it's The Rock versus John Cena. And that one, like, WWE thing with Justin Fields and Tua is not going to be... It might be 0-0 to end the game.
I think the Jets will score points. I can't believe that
they still got Brees Hall.
I can't believe that the Dolphins are favored, though, I guess. But
is it in Miami?
It's in Miami. But still, I think that the Jets, they played competently against the Bills. They had that close game against the Bucks.
30 points against the Steelers.
Yeah, so, I mean, they haven't looked horrible. I don't think they've looked good. But they've looked better than the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah,
Dolphins have been not good at all. I'm not sure what is being seen in that I don't see.
They don't even have the Dolphins' home field. Usually early in the season has that advantage of the opposing sideline is in the sun in Miami Heat, but it's at night. It's Monday night, so it might still be.
But they have the earlier. Yeah, it's still gonna be
7:15 p.m. kickoff. It'll still be warm.
Yeah,
the sun's gonna be baking on them, like it usually does. It's not.
But then the Dolphins just have like the opposite problem in January, where they travel to Kansas City and then they just get beat by 100.
Tua is winless in games under 40 degrees kickoff.
That's such a sad stat.
That's not good.
I love it though. It's kind of what my dad and I used to always say whenever Iowa State would play Texas teams at home. We'd want it to be as cold as possible. I don't believe in half of that stuff. I do believe it with the Dolphins, though, because of how the body language on the sideline that they show is always funny.
I think Mike McDaniel's on his way out. His
offensive
scheme may have worked for a little bit, but it's really not.
Teams figured him out, and
he can't establish a culture. Tyreek Hill runs wild in Miami. There's no discipline with his players.
Tua's not great either.
He probably is not going to be coaching by the end of the season. People thought he was going to get fired after they lost to the Bills last week. But,
I didn't think so after that game, but I definitely don't see him lasting the rest of the season if they keep this path up at least. But because ever since Rex Ryan called him a nerd, I think it's been over for him.
And losing to the Bills, I mean, the Bills are 4-0 Super Bowl contenders, so like,
Yeah,
no
we won't.
lose to the Bills.
We won't disparage them too much
Yeah.
for that one.
All
Okay.
right, so we got Jets winning. What about Bengals Broncos? It's interesting. Broncos defense still very good. Bo Nix has fallen off a little bit from last year. Bengals obviously no Burrow.
If the Broncos don't win this game, I'm out. I'm out on the Bo Nix experiment, and I'm ready to tank and start looking at our options for next year. I'm so over it. It's so boring to watch every week.
That's one of my biggest problems with the Browns.
I don't know why we paid Cortland Sutton so much money. He's good, but he's not the best wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver one that you pay that much money to. And he's our leading receiver now with 185 yards. That's not world beating, but I mean, it's only been 3 games, I suppose. And Mims might not play tonight, and if he doesn't play, I don't love our odds on offense.
A whole lot of other wide receivers other than Mims and Sutton.
Not much.
They
Not
still got-
much.
Because he traded Vele.
Yeah, Tim Patrick. That one sucked because he played well in the Lions last year. It's not or Theo
Yeah.
Patrick, Tim Patrick.
I feel bad for Tim. I like Tim Patrick, and then he had back-to-back catastrophic leg injuries.
Yeah,
Versus
not
the
good.
Lions, yeah.
Okay, well, moving into some predictions then for the upcoming week. I'm gonna bring a little segment. Kind of taking my blog to a podcast form here. If you know me, you know I do a blog called the BeZRK Bets blog. And this is not the finalized list. That'll always come out Wednesday night or Wednesday late afternoon on the blog. But just some lines that I'm looking at here early that I'm liking for college football. As you know, I hate NFL betting. I never get it right. I don't understand spreads in that sport. It's a whole different world to me. I like to bet on my 18 to 22-year-olds the way it should be. Anyway, so for these games coming up this weekend, I actually like some Friday night action. I like New Mexico traveling to San Jose State plus 2.5. I like this team. They keep it close. Had a close game against Michigan where I thought they actually looked a lot better than even what the score said. And San Jose State, they only lost by 1 to Stanford over the weekend. Not the worst loss, but Stanford not a good team. And I like New Mexico here on the road. I like them outright even. Not that that's too much of a difference from the plus 2.5 that they're being given. Kind of a theme that will be shown across these picks. Road dogs. I'm liking them this weekend. Some road favorites too, but a lot of road teams I actually like this weekend too. I'm a fiend for late night action. So the 10:30 p.m. kickoff here on the East Coast, San Diego State, Colorado State. San Diego State 5.5 point favorites. I like them in this spot here as well. Playing at home. The Aztecs just coming off that win against NIU. I'm guessing you did not see that game. I'm guessing no one.
I watch a lot of the lesser college football games.
The final score was 6-3.
Oh my gosh.
But before that, they beat Cal 34-0 in what was the first loss of the BeZRK Bets blog. And so retroactively, I'm now going to bet on San Diego State. And if they lose, I'm not too upset because it's their fault for beating Cal when I needed them to lose. Moving on, Saturday morning, a game I will be at. Iowa State taking on the Cincinnati Bearcats. And it's time for Iowa State to explode. Huge win against Arizona over the weekend. Offense is opening it up. Chase Sowell finally had a good game for us. And Rocco Becht playing his best football. Carson Hansen running people over. Our defense is a lot better than Kansas's defense. Cincinnati's not ready for it. They're 2.5 point favorites right now. Absolutely insane. This line has been moving a lot, actually. I saw it moved towards Iowa State at one point. Now it's moving back towards Cincinnati. This line's going to move a lot. And I think it's because they're Iowa State hasn't played a true road game. Our one road game was Arkansas State, and then we played in Dublin against Kansas State. It's our first road game truly, and Cincinnati beat Kansas, And but I don't think Kansas's defense is good at all. Their offense, they might have a somewhat better quarterback than Iowa State, but not too much to where I think they deserve to be favorites in that game. I actually looked this game up earlier, and Iowa State was 1.5-point favorites. So in that 2.5, 3 hours, the lines moved back to Cincinnati minus 2.5. So I will definitely be taking Iowa State outright or whatever their line is if it's under 3, basically.
Iowa State first in the Big 12, ranked 14th in the nation, theoretically. If you're 14, that's top 15 in the nation, you should be beating unranked teams. Even Cincinnati, no slouches, but ranked teams beat unranked teams. That's kind of what the rankings are for.
Yeah. I mean, as much as you can discredit rankings or discredit the AP poll like I love to do, we are a good team. We've shown that we're a good team. And I think that the boys are going to become ready to play, and I will try my absolute hardest to get all the Iowa State players to talk to me, and probably won't. But next game, Illinois going on to take on Purdue in West Lafayette, and I believe in Illinois again. I don't know if it's going to end up biting me, but as of right now, I believe in them. They're 9.5-point favorites on the road. And I don't think Purdue's good at all, but I do think Luke Altmaier is good. Sorry, I couldn't speak right there. And I think that they're just a lot better than Purdue. I've never liked Purdue. They're kind of my Big Ten team that I dislike other than Nebraska, but that's just more to make fun of them.
They had a big upset against Urban Meyer Buckeyes one time.
Purdue?
That's kind of like the... This is the thing about Urban Meyer. He's undefeated against Michigan and won a national championship 2014. But he would have these random games like Iowa Hawkeyes.
The Noah Fant game?
Yeah.
I remember that. I was in
Purdue.
I was in Ames that week.
Per year where just completely random upsets.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just college football almost in essence. I mean
Virginia beating 8th ranked.
Yeah, like back then playing Ohio State was your Super Bowl for a lot of those teams. But next game, moving on. I don't know if I believe in this one or not. I just wanted to at least bring it up. K-State got their first conference win against UCF over the weekend. Now they're 6.5-point underdogs playing at Baylor. I don't think I will end up taking this one, but I don't hate it. Baylor played in a close game over the weekend to Oklahoma State, I believe it was, and I don't think Oklahoma State is that good of a team. They beat them by 18, I guess. Kansas State's a lot better than Oklahoma State, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't see this one being as big of a blowout. I think K-State can keep it close for sure.
Yeah, Beaver, Oklahoma State. They were the ones with Ollie Gordon, right?
Yeah, yep. They had Ollie Gordon, and yeah, he's looking pretty good now.
Yeah.
Next game I got on the list, I got Vanderbilt 9.5-point underdogs playing against Alabama. If you remember last year, this is famously where Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. And I kind of am thinking the same thing's going to happen. Diego Pavia, quarterback for Vanderbilt, lives for this game. He hates Alabama. Now the line's actually moved to 10.5, I'm seeing. So people are liking Bama. I think Bama wins this game. I think it stays close. All these SEC games are going to be dog fights. Anytime that you see a spread of 10, I'm taking the points. Anytime I see a spread of 10 in the SEC, unless it's like Kentucky or South Carolina playing, even South Carolina, I would take them with 10 points to be against most teams. But that's what I got for the Bama game. I think that it's a bit of an overreaction to them beating Georgia and maybe not giving enough credit to Vanderbilt, who I think actually played a close.
They had a good win.
They played Utah State, beat them by 20. I want to say that game was close at some point, though, if I remember correctly. Next game, though, that I got on the list, Virginia, who we talked about earlier with that big win against Florida State. Now they're going on the road to Louisville. They are 7.5-point underdogs. I don't know how. If you did not watch that Louisville Pitt game, number one, it was Igor. I don't even know how Louisville won that game. I watched most of that game, and I still don't understand how that game was close, how they won it. Makes no sense to me. So I don't know how they're 7.5-point favorites against Virginia, who I really, really believe in. Chandler Morris, great quarterback. Virginia, definitely going to be on the list, definitely one to take. And I've got a couple more here. UNLV, quickly, this one. UNLV, 5.5-point favorites on the road at Wyoming. I like the spot for UNLV. Dan Mullen one of my favorite coaches, and he's just going to keep on winning to keep making Florida fans angry that he's undefeated. And I don't see any issues for them this weekend. Two more. Got Mississippi State 14.5-point favorites against Texas A&M. Like I said earlier, not much explanation. 10 or more points in the SEC. Teams are going to struggle to cover those amounts, and no difference here. Auburn kept it close with Texas A&M, 6-point game. I don't think that Mississippi State is 8 points worse.
Did you say Mississippi State is favored over Texas
No,
A&M?
underdogs.
Oh, okay.
If I said favorites,
okay.
no, my bad. Yeah, Texas A&M favorites at home against Mississippi State's 14.5 points. My last game I got on here, I don't know if I'll take it. I'm still heartbroken, but I've got Cal plus 2.5 at home against Duke. The only reason I took this, kind of the inverse of the West Coast teams not being able to travel out east, kind of going with the backwards of that. I don't think Duke's going to be able to travel out well. Playing at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, which would be Duke's time, and that's a tough body clock. Depending on when you travel, I'm guessing that they would go Friday morning, but not a great spot to be in, I think, for Duke. Playing against Cal, who, if you listen to the blog, or not listen to the blog, if you read the blog, you know that I'm a huge believer in Cal. They had a big win against Boston College, and although Duke just beat Syracuse by 35, have to remember Syracuse's quarterback was injured, not the same Syracuse team that beat Clemson, and also Clemson's not good either, so Syracuse might not be that good. But that's all I got for the blog bets. Unfortunately, the blog went 2-4 over last weekend.
Before that, though.
Yeah, I was 10-1 before that, and then Indiana didn't cover, Texas A&M didn't cover, Kansas didn't cover when they lost, and Old Dominion did not cover. North Texas and Notre Dame, love you, but everyone else, actually I don't love Notre Dame, I take that back. I don't know why I said that, take that back.
For betting.
But wrapping up some college football stuff with kind of going into prediction/betting here. The big games coming up for this weekend got Miami against Florida State, Texas against Florida. Some big ones there. I don't see a world where Miami loses to Florida State after what happened, but
Miami's just a juggernaut team.
I think they're a great team, and I said the Florida-Texas game, don't be surprised if Texas loses this game. Florida's defense has looked really, really good. They've kept all their games close, really. I think their biggest loss, was it the South Florida game was their biggest? No, that was only 2 points. The LSU was 10, South Florida was 2, Miami was 19, but Miami was late. Miami scored late in that game.
Held LSU to 17.
I don't think Florida's team defense is a bad team, and Texas has not looked.
And DJ Lagway for Florida is supposed to be a good quarterback.
No, he's so bad. He's so bad.
He looked good as a freshman last year. So
he's so
I feel like
bad.
he has that upside where if he finds out what's wrong with him or something, 'cause he threw like 5 interceptions in the game. I think he has the upside to be good if he figures whatever's wrong out. Because people are calling
it could be a coach.
The
It could be a
best
coach
freshman in
problem.
the nation over Jeremiah Smith last year, which I did not agree with, obviously. And it's turning out to not be true. But I do like Florida could upset Texas. I think two games of the week, it's either going to be Miami and Florida State or Vanderbilt, Alabama, which are probably the two best games of the week.
Probably. I just cover Big Ten a little bit. You guys, Ohio State that being, taking on Minnesota. What do you think about that game?
Well, we're beginning conference play. We're not going to be 70-0 over Grambling State, but the Big Ten. The Big Ten's got. I think USC's ranked. Oregon is there. Penn State's there. Michigan, whatever. I don't care. Other than those teams, the Big Ten is kind of just a lot of filler teams, Minnesota being one of them. I think 7:30 p.m. I think Ohio State got it. I wonder if it's
I wasn't really. I guess I wasn't saying that I was concerned for Ohio State.
I think
that they'll. Yeah, I mean, like you kind of said, I think other than Penn State, Oregon, Michigan, not a lot of teams in the Big Ten that I would take to beat Ohio State or even really compete with Ohio State.
In Columbus.
Yeah, in Columbus too. They don't lose that
92.4
game.
win probability for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, they're 23.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
They're not. For my Nebraska fans out there playing against Michigan State in Lincoln, they'll probably win this game, especially bounce back game against Michigan State after they lost to Michigan last game. I guess they did have the bye week. I always wonder how teams play after bye weeks where they lose. My friends and I have joked for a while that Nebraska usually loses to bye week, kind of like UCLA lost to bye week this year. But Michigan State also coming off a bye week where they lost to USC. They're kind of in similar spots where they both really haven't beaten anybody, but they both lost one game against a team who was better than them. I'm a Nebraska hater, I guess you could say. I think Michigan State probably covers 11.5. Definitely loses the game, though.
Yeah,
so you're welcome,
State's
Nebraska
kind of
fans. I got you.
teams.
Michigan,
They-
but they're a basketball school, though.
That's true. And
So
they had Kenneth Walker, who plays for the Seahawks now.
and they'd Kirk.
They were good. Kirk Cousins.
Kirk
yeah.
Cousins went there.
Other than those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of any other Michigan
I
State.
think there's probably other football and notable players. But
Oh, I'm sure.
basketball School,
Yeah, in football, you don't even realize players went to players. Players went places until they're doing the Monday Night Football college introductions, and then they say I'm on. I'm like, wow.
Dylan Gabriel played at UCF. That's where he committed to UCF. He finished his college career.
Yeah, and him and Bo Nix were the two, they played for so many schools at so many years. I guess Bo Nix only played at two. I guess he played Auburn and Georgia, or not Georgia,
the
Oregon.
transfer portal and then the COVID extra year of eligibility. That's when you get 26-year-old rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, Utah had that quarterback last year who was 20.
Rising?
Yeah,
Rising? Yeah.
it's 25.
He's crazy.
Yeah, it's absurd. I'm happy that this is the last year of it, though. There's no more exceptions after this year, so this will be the last year that they are all kind of in college still, I believe.
Yeah, then we can get back on track.
All right, NFL picks for the weekend. I guess we'll start 0-0. We'll make this a little series. We'll start it in Week 5 because that's where everything starts is in Week 5. So, 49ers, Rams, who are you taking?
Ooh, Thursday night football, 49ers, Rams in SoFi, Rams house. Even though 49ers fans travel extremely well, I got Rams.
I will also take the Rams. I won't pick against you. We'll for now at least. 9:30 a.m. in London. Browns, Vikings. What do you think?
Vikings, their defense is good. Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator. I wanted him before we hired Jim Schwartz, but Jim Schwartz is also good. I think the Vikings' lack of a quarterback is going to get taken advantage of. The Browns still have one of the best defenses of the league, if not the best. And whether this becomes a joke or not, I'm not going to pick against the Cleveland Browns.
I'm actually also taking the Cleveland Browns. The only reason I could see them losing would be the Vikings get to stay the week over in Europe, and the Browns have to travel, which the Jags won in this spot last year, would be my only concern. But yes, I do think that the Browns are definitely a better team. They are underdogs right now. Minnesota, 3.5-point favorites right now. Broncos, Eagles, Sunday, 1 p.m. kickoff. I think the Broncos are going to lose to the Eagles. The one exception I will say is if the Broncos win tonight, Monday Night Football, by more than 20 points, I will believe that we can beat the Eagles. But as of right now, no faith. We're losing to the Eagles. Yeah, what do you think?
The Eagles they're 4-0. They just win games. Whether Jalen Hurts could have negative passing yards and they'll win. I got Eagles.
Colts, Raiders.
Colts.
I'll take the Colts as well. Giants, Saints.
Giants, Saints. Oh man, Jackson Dart looked good. He might be the saving grace of this game. I'm going Giants.
I'm also going Giants. So right now we're staying the same. Cowboys, Jets.
Cowboys.
I will take the Jets. I think that the Jets win tonight.
You know what? Is Justin Fields back? He's had a concussion, right? He should be back.
I'm not sure because I guess it depends on if he plays tonight against the Dolphins.
If Justin Fields is in there, I'm gonna go Jets. But if they're playing Tyrod Taylor, I'm Cowboys.
So we'll put you down for Cowboys with the exception of if Justin Fields plays. Your official pick is.
Oh no! I'm gonna go Jets if Justin Fields is out. I'm flipping.
Okay, Jets if Fields is out.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Dolphins, Panthers. That's an. I read it and then it took me a second to be like there's a fan base that has to watch that game.
I'm probably gonna have to take the Dolphins. I think Devon Achane is still good.
I'm a Panthers believer. I'll take the Panthers. Texans Ravens.
I think the Ravens are gonna get back on track.
I think so too. I think Ravens got that one.
Texans are just not good this week.
Titans Cardinals.
I feel bad for Cam Ward, but I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I think the Titans get their first win.
I can see it.
I think that the Cardinals are not good.
This might come down to who's the home team.
It's in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm sticking Cardinals.
Seahawks Bucks.
Ooh, that might be a good game. I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
I will also go the Bucks. Lions Bengals.
Lions.
Yeah, easy pick there. Commanders Chargers. Again, kind of depends. I'm guessing Jaden Daniels is going to play in this game.
I think I might still go Chargers though. I think I'm gonna get back on the horse.
God, that's a tough one.
I don't think the Commanders' pass rush is really good enough to take advantage of the Chargers missing their tackles.
Yeah, as of right now, they're predicting that Terry and Jaden are going to be back. So
That's gonna help.
I think Commanders. I'll take Commanders for that one then.
Sunday Night Football.
Bills Pats.
Bills. The Bills are just a juggernaut.
I will also take the Bills. Jags Chiefs Monday Night Football.
Oh man, I'm probably gonna take the Chiefs. Still good against the Ravens. Might be back.
All right, I will also take the Chiefs there. So that is going to do it here for the podcast, Helmet to Helmet, the inaugural podcast. Luke, any closing words?
Go Browns, go Buckeyes. That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening and tune in next week. Thank you.